Can choose what fits. Inside Cameron Indoor Stadium, you forget about Old Man Winter's blast of chill. It's going to be warm here tonight as two nationally ranked powers go at it, all looking to get an easy way to the ACC Tournament Championship. They do that by seeding and maybe playing one fewer game. The first time in a year and a half, FSU, Florida State wearing their black uniforms. This is Chris Singleton out front.
Duke starts in the man-to-man, and it is obviously an aggressive man-to-man.
Here's Derwin Kitchen, who's played very well of late. He finds Echefu. In front, that's Singleton at the foul line. And Gerald Henderson with the rebound. And here's Greg Paulus. What a hand he received on senior night.
Florida State starts in the man-to-man as well, and you've got to keep Gerald Henderson from putting the ball down and taking it to the basket. Make him a jump shooter. Now he's a good jump shooter, but he can just cut your heart out driving the ball to the goal.
Quite a task for Chris Singleton. Here's the shot by Poches. Rebound comes away now to Alabi. Florida State in business here, looking for the first basket of the game. Douglas swings it out to Kitchen for three. Good shots both by Singleton and Kitchen. Let's take a look at our Food Line starting lineups, and you can see it's Kitchen, Douglas, Singleton, Echefu, and Alabi for Florida State. A senior-laden lineup featuring Henderson and Singler, sandwiched around Poches, Paulus, and McClure. The foul is on Singler. The ball thrown into backcourt. Singleton picks it up from Kitchen. They'll drive the lane. Offensive foul. You see that coming.
Wow, you could see it coming all the way from half court, and that's one of those plays where you take the ball into the lane and you stop at 8 feet and you shoot a jump shot. There's no reason to try to take that ball all the way to the basket, and particularly against Duke, you know they're going to stand there and try to take the charge.
As Singler and Shire did.
I remember the last time these two teams played, the score was 19-14 at halftime. They're really good defensive teams, both of them.
Here's Tony Douglas out front. 0 for 3 Florida State is here.
Now that's the kind of shot that I think Florida State wants to get. Tony Douglas open from about 15 feet in transition. They'll take that every time down the court.
Singler watched by Echefu. McClure allowed to roam at will.
Alabi's sort of playing a one-man zone down on the inside. He's not chasing those smaller guys out on the perimeter.
Takes all comers, and Echefu comes away with a rebound on the miss. So both of these teams cold to begin.
Now, depending on whether you're looking at all games or simply conference games, these teams are 1 and 2 in defense.
Shot inside by Alabi. Rebounded there nicely by Poches. Stayed in bounds with it. Here's McClure, baseline jump. That wasn't in the scouting report.
He's a young man that doesn't score much, but he's a capable scorer if he gets open shots like that one.
Rebounding and defense are his stories, and of course in the game against Miami, he had 13 rebounds in the come-from-behind win. Good look inside, and a foul coming up as Echefu went up with it. And look at the score at halftime, 66-58. It was 19-14. Duke had 5 field goals. One of them was a goaltend.
Right.
The other 4 from Gerald Henderson.
And now Duke, they shot 59% in the second half. They only shot 25 in the first half.
They had a 41-11 run, Dan, and Florida State went 7:58 without a point on their own home floor.
Florida State had 23 offensive rebounds, but they weren't able to convert them. Neither team had very many assists.
And here comes Shire, Thomas, and Williams. Williams, the newest starter over the last 4 games, and the seniors take a seat. Woodman of the world scoreboard. Clemson in a tight game with Virginia. Virginia beat them the first time around up in Charlottesville. You see the rest of the scores as teams are winding it down toward tournament play. Echefu hits a pair. We're tied up at 2.
Tony Douglas, everybody talks about his offense, but he's an outstanding defensive player.
Travel violation is Gerald Henderson.
Now Henderson, I think, feels as if he has an advantage on the perimeter against the freshman Singleton. Singleton may not be as quick as Henderson.
Nice pass by Florida State to beat the press. They're 2-on-1. And Tony Douglas knows where to go and finds Alabi with the basket.
More importantly, he knows where to stop. He didn't take the ball all the way to the basket and pick up the charge. And
Thomas comes up lane.
I didn't see what happened down there. He may have turned his ankle stepping on somebody's foot.
It looked like he turned his left ankle. Watch this alley-oop.
It's really a good play.
And it looked like Thomas turned that ankle as he was turning up court.
Yeah, it sure did. Right there.
Oh, he turned it on the pass.
Yeah, tried to pick off the pass and missed it.
Elliott Williams averaging 10 points over the last 4. Henderson from the field, and we're tied.
Well, you can't guard him any better than that. You force him to take a contested jump shot and he knocks it down, but he has been playing extremely well on both ends of the court, but he's become an outstanding offensive player.
Tony Douglas out front. Shire on him, they switch.
Now they're going to switch on Tony Douglas. You don't want him loose for 3.
Alabi works inside on Henderson. Rebound comes away to Shire.
Alabi's got to take his time in there. There's nobody from Duke who can really contest him. Not going to block his shot. Just take your time.
Got a foul out front. That's going to be charged.
McClure.
To the Duke Blue Devils. Yep, McClure will pick it up. It'll be his second.
They're trying to set a screen. And if you're going to set a screen like that, you can't go up and just lay your body on a guy. You got to give him room. And I believe that's why the screen is called.
13 foul now on Duke. Here's Douglas out top. Screen and roll with echefu, who plows Henderson into the lane, and now they're going to call him for it. Echefu with the foul. Timeout on the court. 15:45 left here in the first half.
ESPN News just got an upgrade.
I'm Mike Hill, hanging out for the new set of ESPN News. It's a brand new look with state-of-the-art graphics and an improved bottom line that shows even more information. And for the first time, ESPN News is now available in high definition on our newest network, ESPN News HD, with an enhanced bottom line and exclusive HD sideline, which shows you more than ever before. The up-to-the-minute breaking news continues, but the way you watch has changed. ESPN News.
All right, everybody, before we get going, we got some changes on the RV this year. First off, per Dwight's request, we got a beaded cover for the driver's seat. Thank you, Dwight.
It's better for your back.
Also, after last year's debacle, we've installed a 24-second clock in the bathroom. Nice idea. And finally, by popular demand, drum roll please, hydraulics.
ESPN, your NBA destination for games Wednesdays and Fridays.
Billy Mays here for ESPN360.com, the revolutionary tool for watching sports. It's the live sports you want wherever you are. The secret is in the internet connection. Live sports travel on this wire to the back of your desktop.
Live sports at work? That's much better than work at work.
Wherever you go, live sports surrounds you.
Now my job is way less soul-crushing.
Log on to ESPN360.com.
Chosen one, huh?
All right, fans, get those cell phones ready. It's time for our interactive feature we've done all year called the All-Tel Text-Up War. We want your answer to this question. Which player is more valuable to their team? Tony Douglas, Florida State. Gerald Henderson, Duke. Text to vote. Text A1 or A2 to 55333 right now. And we'll update the results later in the half.
Steve, one thing that's been established clearly so far in the game, you better be careful setting screens. There's been 4 offensive fouls called already, each one on an illegal screen.
Singler has the ball picked off by echefu, but it's picked back, and now it's loose for good. And we've got a tie jump ball. Possession arrow is going to go to Duke. And this is Tony Douglas, and Gerald Henderson. This is in all games, 20.6 versus 16.6. They're a lot closer in both above 20 against ACC play, and that's a trait you like to see in players like that.
Your best players, you want them to be better when the competition gets better, and both of these guys have been that way this year for their respective teams.
There's the field goal damage. Very good so far.
Florida State in an aggressive man-to-man. They've got those big guys in the back that should be able to cut down on penetration.
Shire fouled and hits the three. It could be a 4-point play for John Shire.
Shire obviously a dangerous three-point shooter, and you want to contest the shot. Douglas got caught up in a screen, and he just whacked Shire's arm. That's the kind of a shot that you say headed all the way.
Yeah,
but
I called it. I called the rim 3 times. Went up straight up in the air and fell through for Shire. And he'll be on the foul line for a 4-point play. Look at the game he had against Wake Forest.
Well, now early in the game, we're already in a danger zone for Florida State. You don't want to get too far behind the Duke Blue Devils in this building. The Seminoles struggling on the offensive end.
Here's Tony Douglas, lifts and hits the shot. It's not, Dan, really that they're not getting good shots. They're just not going down, but that isn't a surprise with Florida State shooting as a team 43%. Henderson.
That's pretty tough right there.
Yeah, it is.
You got to play off of him a little bit so he doesn't go past you. If he's going to hit that shot with a hand in his face, you're going to have a long night.
Henderson, 17 points in the first half in a win against Virginia Tech on Saturday. He got quiet in the second half. But then Singler took over. Here's Tony Douglas.
For Florida State, you've got to be tough enough to run your stuff against this Duke half-court defense.
Ryan Zubek is in the game. He comes out and shows hard on Douglas. Douglas will get all of Duke's defensive attention. Echefu inside. The rebound comes to Shire.
And when Zubek's going to switch out on him, Florida State has to take advantage of that, and they simply didn't.
Henderson, same spot, a little bit deeper. Shire. Douglas is there. Henderson for 3. What a tip by Elliott Williams.
Wow, he came flying in. Kitchen just didn't block him out. And sometimes guards aren't as good as big guys in blocking out. They forget. But Williams had 11 rebounds in a game already this year. You've got to block him out.
Echefu, you've got to honor his three-point strength. And he showed it right there. Echefu on the season, that's his 20th three-pointer. Cuts the Duke lead in half. Henderson spies Williams on the baseline, but Alabi steps in front of the ball. This is Kitchen. Alabi at the foul line. They're going to tie up, and it's going to be Florida State ball on the possession area. And of course, coming up at halftime, we'll have analysis, highlights, stats, and more. Scores from around the country, all coming up on the Hardy's halftime report. We'll be looking with particular interest at some of the other ACC action tonight. Virginia, Clemson already underway. Wake Forest, Maryland a little bit later on this evening. All have heavy implications as to where these teams finish. For Duke, the job is simple. Win these 2. This tonight against Florida State and Sunday against North Carolina. And you can have the top spot. Ryan Reed, offensive foul, trying to pivot around his defensive cover. And what is that, the 5th offensive foul?
5th offensive foul of the game. That's the first one, though, that wasn't an illegal screen. Steve, there's a scenario in the ACC where as many as 6 teams, including Florida State, could finish 9-7.
Amazing. And 2 of those teams, matter of fact, 3 of those teams could be without a first-round bye in the ACC tournament. Here's Shire from outside. The rebound, Echefu. Douglas in the front court where a three-pointer will tie this game up. Echefu to do it.
Wow, that was a deep shot by Echefu. And against this Duke lineup, I think if you're Florida State, that 3 going down is okay, but you'd like to see your 6'10" guy on the inside a little bit more.
Echefu with 2 straight threes, ties it up. Shooting has improved for the Blue Devils of Duke.
That time Williams lost his footing, and he was out of bounds when he was touching the ball, so the ball will go over to Florida State.
Mike Krzyzewski, 29th season here at Duke, and one of the leaders in number of wins at the same school. And Martinez Pochus is back in. Senior playing his